This volume of Index was a roller coaster, as the great demon Choronzon was revealed in the previous book, determined to bring ruin to Aleister Crowley, as the three heroes began the battle against her. And not only did Accelerator confront the person who made his life a living hell, Hamazura adopted a baby, and Touma nearly lost his V-card to an 100-year-old Satanist turned lolly. This series truly is the abyss. Make sure you stay to the end to find out the context of each of these events, as it sets up one of the best arcs in the entire Toaru franchise. Our story continues as Aleister in his new body thinks, what better way to test out being a girl by asking Touma to take him, or her now I guess. Aeon, use the right pronouns, it's the modern internet. She wants Touma to take her somewhere dark and have his way. Don't just thrust your hips, make sure you use every bit of your hold on, I thought this was a Christian novel. After Touma rejects Aleister's advances, she forces the windowless building into space, with Choronzon still inside, in order to slow the demon down so Aleister can prepare to fight her accordingly. She tries to escape via the hole in the building, but is stopped by the 1/3 cat milf, 1/3 supercomputer, and 1/3 magical book, Mina Mathers, and Iwaz, who throws Mina out to give a present to Aleister, as apparently it's his lucky day. Aleister's original body, which Choronzon turned into an avatar, also disintegrated due to the heat from entering the atmosphere. Meanwhile, Hamazura wakes up to find himself in a new Kamen Rider outfit, known as the Processor Suit, with the same AI he is familiar with from wearing the Dragon Rider, known as Aneri. He hears a news broadcast that a person with a similar suit to him is a wanted man, leading Hamazura to think he's being framed. Accelerator is also observing Hamazura from afar, noticing the enhanced strength, which allowed Hamazura to flip an armored car, and it reminds him of his own ability, Vector Control. Hamazura then calls his girlfriend Takitsubo and then tells her to meet up with him before Accelerator attacks him directly. But Accelerator does not recognize his former ally because the suit masks both his face and voice. The suit allowed him to survive the attack, and Accelerator mentioned a key name, A.O. Francisca. Could this be the other man in the suit? The strike from Accelerator leads Hamazura to find an abandoned car in a back alley, with a rather strange noise coming from it. It's a baby. Hammer Dad time! And it's a girl with green eyes and silver hair called Lilith. If you watched the previous volume summary, you'll know exactly who this is. Mina spots Hamazura running away with Lilith, but is interrupted by Accelerator, and they throw hands. Hamazura then meets up with Takitsubo, but doesn't believe it's actually him, despite him knowing all her bedtime tendencies. He then gets arrested, but none other than A.O. Francisca storms the anti-skill station where he is being interrogated. Hamazura confronts Francisca, who is using biological weapons known as mimetic predators, organisms capable of shapeshifting and causing damage to whatever touches them. Hamazura manages to take Lilith and he escapes. Aleister also guides Touma to a love hotel to try and seduce him once more, to perform sex magic. Yep, sex magic. And no, this is not Fate Stay Night. On a side note, this was actually something the real Aleister Crowley was into. He wrote an entire ass book about it. Sex magic would allow Aleister to create a countermeasure to Choronzon quicker, but after being rejected once more by Touma, she is forced to use the longer method. While Choronzon is still fighting Iwaz in space, Aleister believes that Choronzon's influence is still around in Academy City, and therefore needs to be prepared, as the demon is planning to take over Academy City for herself, and wants to obtain the bank. And no, not the one with money in it. It is in fact the largest database in the city, with a vast amount of futuristic scientific knowledge, which in the wrong hands could bring the world to its knees. Aleister creates a protective charm that will detect Choronzon's influence to both protect themselves and hopefully find a way to find whatever trap Choronzon has planned on Earth. Aleister and Touma visit a hot spring together, because why not? And a pink wind will save the world? What the hell is a pink what? Oh, hell no! I might be rooting for Touma to give Aleister another good gender equality punch. Hamazura phones Takitsubo again, who finally believes him this time, and tells her to bring a baby bottle and diapers, leading to her to think that her boyfriend might have a disturbing new fetish. It is then revealed that the true nature of the processor suit is Academy City's bank database, as the bank would often evolve into different forms in order to disguise and protect itself. Franziska had stolen the suit and placed Hamazura in a decoy version, but this version was interfering with the parent suit due to both being active, meaning Franziska needs the other suit to gain full network access. Hamazura then decides to hunt Franziska down himself, and while they throw hands once more, Lilith the baby appears and seems to be talking via a nurse made of wood. What the hell is happening? This is JoJo tier levels of insanity, I swear. Not that I'm complaining. Lilith has brought none other than her dad, or lolly mum I guess. Yeah, that's a cursed ass sentence, but I don't care. Yep, it's Aleister Crowley, who blasts Franziska with her magic. If you watch my New Testament 18 video, you'd know that Lilith should technically be dead. However, before she died around 100 years ago, Aiwa sent her soul to a different phase to keep it safe, and now has suddenly decided to revive Lilith after all these years as a random present to Aleister. That doesn't sound suspicious at all. I bet nothing bad will happen 3 volumes later, although she is still an exposed soul and doesn't technically have a physical body yet, even though people can still physically touch her. Yeah, it's weird. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and want to see a summary of the next volume, where Accelerator adopts a literal demon waifu made of trash, then help me get to 19k and I will make that for you guys. That's 19,000 with 3 zeros. It is revealed that Franziska was none other than the small butt girl, Fran. Yep, that was an obvious hint in the name, and she was being possessed by Choronzon. Aleister then destroys Choronzon's influence inside Fran, freeing her, and destroys the mimetic predators using enough force to create the universe 10 times over. That's a little overkill, but whatever, it's cool. I guess Aleister was so happy Lilith is alive, she wanted to be an absolute savage for no reason. But their problems aren't over yet, since Choronzon activates Index's John's pen mode, using her controller, just like she did in World War III. Index is stopped by Mina Mathers, who shows her a new grimoire that Aiwa's created for her, using the poison from within to destroy the controller remotely. However, Choronzon has other ideas, as she has defeated Aiwa's in space and decides to take over the windowless building herself, plummeting down at the speed of light to destroy Academy City. Everyone died. The end. But it's not over yet, as that wasn't the real Academy City. Choronzon travelling at such an absurd speed messed up both time and space, and sent her to a parallel timeline, specifically the land connected to Kamisato Kakeru's special right hand, World Rejector, where most of the magic gods are dwelling to give Choronzon a very warm welcome. Aleister decides he must travel to England in order to destroy the corpse of Sam Mathers, which she believes would sever the contract between Mathers and Choronzon, which would free his second daughter Lola, who Choronzon is currently using as her primary avatar. At least the avatars in Index aren't blue aliens. The 3 heroes of Touma, Hamazura, and Accelerator gather as Accelerator aims his gun directly at Aleister, as Aleister was the true mastermind behind the Sisters Project, where Accelerator was manipulated to murder thousands of clones in order to increase his own power, and also indirectly exposing him to psychological trauma and physical abuse, in addition to all the other messed up shit that happens in the city. Hamazura, however, is willing to let Aleister live, if it means Aleister gives him a different kind of insurance to protect both him and his girlfriend within the city. And Touma, of course, who will save anyone no matter how despicable. Of course he doesn't want Aleister dead. Aleister speaks directly to Accelerator for the first time, saying, "This chaos is the world you wish for, without my influence," suggesting Accelerator should help her solve the problem at hand. He then lowers his gun, as Accelerator says he will remind Aleister of what fear truly is. At the right moment, Choronzon manages to escape World Rejector Land with Nyang Nyang and Top Nep on her back by tearing a hole through space. Aleister tells her that thanks to obtaining the bank from the processor suit, he was able to send a virus to every computer in Academy City to render them useless so that Choronzon can't use any of the city's technology. Aleister also issued an order for the entire city to be evacuated too, giving Choronzon a mere shell of Academy City as her prison. The three heroes then decide to team up with Alistair to bring the threat of Coronzon to an end, which also brings us to the end of the volume. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and check out my other light novel summaries if you missed them, and make sure you don't miss a future video.